not starting on time this morning. It was scheduled to start at 8:30, but due to the high winds, cold temperature, and very low visibility conditions, the race will be starting about 15 minutes late. The greatest race in snowmobiling.
So there it is, and here we are. Just exactly what I didn't want. The wind is up, and it's snowing and blowing so hard to the south of here that they're talking about canceling this leg of the race, having us all move down to East Grand Forks. Well, I, for one, ain't getting my hopes up. This race has never been canceled yet. So we'll just have to stand around and wait for them to tell us what we all know they're going to tell us. And it's cold. I mean, talk about your brass monkey. It's got to be 30 below. And that wind makes you feel like you're in your skivvies.
45 degrees on the Minnesota point as the drivers are ready. There was some question this morning at 8:30 when the race was scheduled to start as to whether they could have an observation plane that would function or not to survey the machines for safety's sake. The machine at that time could not...
So here comes the word. Gentlemen, start your engine. Just like I said, this is one race they never cancel. There are 374 of us, so they're going to have to start us off in waves.
Reports coming in throughout the day. The riders are on the starting line waiting for the signal. The signal will be given shortly. We invite you to stay tuned for coverage of the greatest race in snowmobiling. 4 snow caps per heat. 7 heats. The flag is up. They are off. The greatest race in snowmobiling is underway.
Here I am, less than a mile from the starting line, and I already know what this one's going to be. Mean. That suspension is already getting a workout. It's like running through a tank track. Race like this, you can't get too worried about the other guy. You just got to find your own pace and try to hold it. It's a long way to St. Paul. I don't know how anyone else figures it, but me, I never like to think too far ahead. If I can just make it to the border, just 90 miles to the border, that'll be just fine.
Charlie, what are you going to do? Straightening out that hose.
Think you can make it?
Hey, get that hose out of the way. Get that car out of there.
Back up, man.
Out of traffic, get ready.
Come on, move it.
We got him. Set him over this.
We need a report when you type the first machine, over.
The guy can make up a little time here. All you want to do is get in, get gassed, and get out. The guys working here have really got to hump it. Nobody wants to cost the driver any time by messing up or being slow. As far as I can tell, these guys at the gas stop never do.
Get out of here. Hey.
I think I can make it. 56.1.
What the hell are you doing?
Hey, Ron Shermerman, now go. Well, after that gas stop, I figured the worst is over.
About 2 miles out of Winnipeg, I flipped off and busted my goggles. I ran the whole rest of the way without any goggles, and about halfway through, then I flipped it again and busted the windshield, and then I didn't have nothing.
How do you feel?
All right.
What did they do to you at the hospital?
Told me I shouldn't run tomorrow.
Wow. Are you going to run tomorrow?
I was planning on it.
It is going to be a
bit nifty for both drivers and spectators this morning, I tell you. Or below it, 25-mile-an-hour winds. Woo! That'll put some frost on your mustache. Here's Brenda Lee.
Rock on, baby, rock on, you're not dragging no long chain.
Because of the hospitalization of 9 drivers and the apparent mechanical difficulty of others, we expect a field of around 220 to start this morning from East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
Well, here it is again. If yesterday was bad, today's worse. The wind's blowing harder. I got more aches and I got places to have them. You know, before a football game, they let a guy warm up. Here, they just cool you down and send you off. East Grand Forks to Alexandria. Well, let's get it done.
The flag is up.
Every sled here is stock, no modifications. You can fix anything but the engine. If that hatches, you're out. You wrench your back all day and you wrench the machine at night. And it all starts over again at dawn. There are only 37 sleds left, and that's a piddling few when you figure 374 started in Winnipeg. So now I got to ask what it all means. Well, for one thing, we learned a lot. We learned that there's still some pretty tough old boys riding this race. We learned that the El Tigre is a real go-faster. I think that machine can take a lot more than me. But I tell you straight out, I would have traded my pickup and a case of bungee cords for a Panther. If there was only some way to put the two sleds together, you know, like a hybrid, keep the flat-out speed of the El Tigre, but give me the ride of the Panther, then I bet we'd have her whipped. Even though this was one of the all-time gut-busting races, we still did pretty good. Wayne Connickson and Richie Porter finished right up there, and we did work out a new suspension. But if we can lick this one little problem, just make a machine with a smooth ride and a lot of zip, why then we'd all be smiling for those cameras and cashing those winners' checks. All we need is some way to put the El Tigre and the Panther together. Now, that may seem like a lot to ask, but after all, we're Arctic Cat. We owe it to the industry. If we don't keep improving, what are those other guys going to have to copy?